looks like
I
we're
love
live.
that intro. I
Hey
love
there.
that intro.
Welcome, Vince.
Welcome. Hello. How we doing?
We're doing pretty good. Pretty good. We got.
I see Mal's running late.
Oh, you see Mal?
I said he's running late.
Oh, yeah, Mal is running late. Yes. He asked me to let him know. He says backstage on the link you sent. Uh-oh. You know what? I think I sent him the wrong one. Yeah. See here. If I can. Yeah, I got to go back and I got to bring him in here. So hang tight, everybody, for just a minute. We're already having a technical difficulty on my part. Okay.
Oh, we've got two Jeffs.
Oh, yeah. Whoopsie daisy. Shoot.
You got to turn me light off.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Jeff's having technical difficulties.
Yeah.
I'm just turning the spotlight off because I was getting blinded sat there. I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one that doesn't do well with technology there, Jeff.
No. No, I have a lot of trouble too.
I've been left on my own.
There we go. I was gonna send this
Talk
to.
about checking in at the deep end.
There we go.
Well,
Oh.
yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, good.
Welcome back to Aquatic Addicts Anonymous, hosted by Jeff, who is in the background at the moment. There he is.
There, move him out of there. Okay.
Back to the host of the show.
There we go. Let's see if he's in here. There he is. There's Mel. Okay.
There he is. Better late than never. Is it me, or does Mal sound like one of the chipmunks? Yeah. Oh.
Alrighty.
Oh man.
I have a little bit of difficulties there for a second. Sorry about that. Vince?
Oh, it's all right.
Brought him
Now,
in. You sound like when you did the nitrogen the nitrogen cycle video, man.
you sound like a Geordie chipmunk.
I don't know what's happened to your audio there. He's going to come back in.
Oh. Oh, what a start to the show, eh, Jeff?
It usually runs a little bit smoother, but that's okay. Oh, let's go see what we got in the chat here.
Nothing wrong with a giggle.
We got Fishy on Tactics. There's Arnold. Hello, Arnold.
Keys.
Guess it's Koi Pond.
It has.
Sketty Nona. There's Sarah.
Sketty.
Matt from Fish Fam Lake. Let's see here. We got JT, Jack. Hello, Jack. Got Aquarium Delirium. He's going to try and make it back in, I hope. Give him some audio issues there, I think, a little bit. Let's see here.
We'll get there.
He'll get back in here. Busy Bee, somebody I've never seen before. Hello, Busy Bee, welcome. George Murdoch Fishing. Hello,
George, how you doing, bud?
And let's see here. Then we're caught up with the chat now, so. And let's see here. And I thought that in there. Go ahead and bring this up here. Have that set up for you, Vince. There we go. Welcome. My first time on our stream here. That's great.
Well, first time visually on the stream, but I've been in the comments.
Oh yeah, you've been in the comments. Yeah.
Well, I've been in the comments since the first Inception night when you decided to call it Aquatics Anonymous.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yep, definitely.
Well, we're kind of in the same boat, you know. We all got our own addicted to our own aquatics. Oh yeah. Trust me, the koi is very addictive. Looks like. Yeah, try it again here. I had to send the link again to Mel because he's having more problems here. Okay, here we go. See if that works for him. See how this goes now. See if he makes it in this time without
sounding like Alvin.
Like Munchkin, yeah. Oh, Green Machine Sweden in. Hello there. You got some great. There he is. There's Mel. Hello, Mel.
Is that any better?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Aquarium on helium.
Oh mate, that was hilarious.
Just like when you did your the nitrogen.
Oh, when they're doing the thingy video
with a little pointy hat.
You'll not remember it, Jeff, because it was I think it was just an English thing, but we had the smash video, smash gets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mashed potato.
That's exactly what you sounded.
So that would have sounded good and goes, all right, cupcakes.
And that sounded hilarious, honestly.
You can cut that bit out and use it.
Remixed it in a video.
That was good. When you laughed, it was like it sounded just like the Alvin the Chipmunk. Great.
How's things? All right. What have I missed?
Yeah, not too bad. Not a lot.
Not a lot. I had a private tour of Vince's facility there and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have him show us again if he wants to.
You
can wait on it. You can wait on that for a little while if you want to, but you don't have to.
Yeah, we'll wait on that. I'll stick the light on and we'll take a walk out later if that's what you would like.
Yeah, that'll work. We may be even having Chris join us. He said he was getting held up at the getting his car fixed.
Who's this, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah. He did say.
Is my voice still all right now?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh yeah. Am I sounding okay?
Yeah.
We don't discriminate against Geordies.
The first time you've seen a Geordie talk like that.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Red Laser in the house. Hello, Gordon. How you doing?
Hey, Laser, how we doing?
Hey,
So that's
Mal.
through a water bit, isn't it?
I was just showing off one of my new coffee mug.
How's that one? Oh, it Stubbs this.
Yep.
That's Stubbs, yeah. I'm waiting for my Stubbs one to come through the post.
I got a nice hot cup of coffee. I'm gonna wait till he gets here, and when I show him, I'm gonna say there's only one thing better than a good cup of coffee in a Stubbs coffee mug.
Mine is actually on a boat at the moment, on its way over.
Oh, is
All
it?
right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So when that one arrives, it will be mug number 71. So that's 71 different YouTubers.
All right. I've
Now,
seen the
you
one you got the day. Sorry. Go on, Jeff.
Oh, I was going to ask you this. You have your own coffee mug, though, right? Also,
Oh, yeah.
are those available for purchase?
They are via a friend who does printing. Failing that, I can get one made up and get sent out to you if you would like one, Jeff.
I would love one. Absolutely.
I'm sure we can sort that out for you.
Oh,
You've
yeah?
got the email address now, haven't you? Just pop your postal address in,
Sure.
and we'll get one sent out to you. But
That'd be wonderful. Yeah, I love. Like I said, I have a small collection. I only got maybe. Oh, here we go. Look at here. And there is. Hello.
hey, there's my big lug nut.
Hello.
Hello, Chris. I got one for you.
Hello, Chris. How you doing? Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
H-A-L-H-A-N.
Hello, Chris. How you doing? Good. Can you hear me okay? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me turn this down.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. Yep.
The hell's going on here?
I got one for each of the guests here now.
Bear with me a minute.
He's gone again.
He'll come back in.
I'm definitely going to miss the second half.
The second half?
Yeah, Newcastle's playing in Europe. That's how much I like you, Jeff. I'll give up that for you tonight.
No, it's only 22 win bags taking around a bag of wins. Just, you know.
Now, is that soccer or is that?
That's,
Yeah.
Yeah, soccer, yeah.
Yeah. I don't do football.
Do you not? Do you do any sport?
Any sport involving any type of ball, nah.
No.
If it's got an engine, then
Come on, Vince. I know you like the ball.
I do enjoy watching a bit of darts, but yeah, mainly motorcycle. Any form of motorcycle racing.
I used to watch some sports here a little bit. I haven't in years though. It's not really my thing too much anymore. But maybe boxing. I see a boxing match every once in a while. But
Hockey, and more hockey.
oh yeah, you like that?
Live for it.
All you like is the violence at the end.
Oh, Adele says she has to get ready for work. Well, you have a good day, Adele. Thank you. Kelly, hello. All right, so we got two trusted koi keepers here that I've been, my only ones I know. So I guess
I get carried away.
Me and Mel came up with a few questions for you.
Good.
Maybe we can go ahead and start with the first one, huh?
Hey, Magnus.
Let's start with the first question. What's the minimum depth for outside ponds for safety through the winter?
It depends on where you are.
Yeah, I was going to say it depends because for you in Canada, it's going to be a lot deeper.
Well, it depends where in Canada too. So if you're on the east or west coast, you can probably get away with 3 feet.
Oh, really?
Right.
Yeah, because it's much milder. It's not like UK winter, but it's mild.
Oh, I didn't know it was that mild. I mean, I thought that the frost line here in Michigan is 4 feet.
Yeah, but you're in the central part of the country, right? So
Yeah.
East Coast and West Coast, same with you guys. Like if you go up into even go up to Maine, but if you're close to the coast, it's not too bad. You're gonna get lots of snow, but it's not frigid temperatures. Now, I know you guys in the UK really struggled last year because you probably had your coldest winter that you can recall, and most of your ponds are above ground, and there's no area for the koi to get warm.
I don't get that problem.
You know, yours.
If you build it right to start with,
well, yours are pretty protected.
Yeah, because I'm in between two other houses, so in that respect, yeah, I am sheltered to a degree. But mine is half in, half out.
Yeah.
For between 4 3/4 and or around there deep. So I do when I rebuild it, I do want to make it a foot deeper. I won't go any deeper than 5.5 foot. There is absolutely no need really, unless your name's Chris and you live in Canada, and of course you want that extra volume, just so that they can get down that little bit lower where it is a little bit warmer.
Yeah. Well, I just noticed so many people in the UK last year lost a lot of fish. And they even got a bit of ice on the top of their ponds, and they lost a lot from what I can see. And it depends on where in the UK as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm down south, so
yeah,
our winters, even though it does go down to minus numbers, it doesn't go down as low as it does for Mal up in Newcastle, and above, anywhere up past the Watford Gap is north, but
yeah. You're right.
So here, like I wouldn't, build one that's under 5 to 6 feet deep now.
No, for koi, I wouldn't go any deeper than 6 foot, because anything after 6 foot, when they get bigger, you can end up with swim bladder issues.
Right.
Oh, they get bigger than it is.
Oh. And when you get your friend round to put the cap on the bottom of yours, you might be able to go down 6 foot. I've seen that video when you had him in your pond trying to re-put that cap on.
That was hilarious.
You've got a good mate, him, mind. I would have told you where to go.
He's like, yeah, it's not that cold, As soon as he's not, hit that water.
Like, you're in now, Rodney. Get on with it.
Yeah, definitely.
It says 2 meters, never worried in winter. 2 meters. So that's what, 8 feet?
No, it's a little bit more than 6 feet.
A little more 6. Oh, I'm thinking yards. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, magnets is 6.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise going sort of like 7 or 8 foot deep, because then you are asking for issues at some point in time. And not only that, if you go anywhere past 6 deep on any sort of size, that's a lot of water. And if you ever have to treat for parasites or blanket weed or anything like that, you're going to be paying through the nose, because you're going to need a large amount of it to be able to treat the whole body of water. Can you see what I mean? So, for an average garden koi pond, I mean, 2,500, 3,000 gallons, I would say, is an absolutely perfect size for keeping koi. But I have also proved that you can keep koi and grow and keep quality in smaller systems as well.
Yeah.
So it's all about how you filter them.
Will's Will's koi? His doesn't look a very big system, but he seems to get away with it.
Which Will's koi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Will's a good lad. But he's not far off of what I'm running on my main pond. Apart from the fact that he's got one each pod. I've got two. But I've also got an active bio chamber, 2 tempests, and then my shower. But he's got just the shower and the easy pod. But there is a big difference there as well with the fact that Will's system is pump fed in the fact that the actual pump that feeds the filter system is in the pond itself.
Right, so it's like a plugged in pump that pumps it out.
Yeah, any type of aquatic pump pumps it into the filter system and then back to the pond. Whereas my system is what they call gravity fed. So I've got a 4-inch bottom drain in the centre of the pond, and that then feeds my filter system by gravity. And then at the end of the filter system, you then put your pump, and then you pump the back to the pond. And for me, that is through the tempest and then up over the shower.
So, will they breed with the koi? I mean, will they survive if they breed in there when you get babies or will they eat them?
If they do spawn in the pond without control, then you'll come down the next morning and your garden will smell like Liverpool docks, and you'll probably find no spawn in sight because they'd have been eating it as soon as they finish spawning. Yeah, and this is why you'll find most koi farms or a lot of koi farms actually hand strip their fish.
Yeah.
When it comes to
get back sealed. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the case of New Forest Koi Farm, where I spend a lot of time, what they do there.
I spend a lot of time there. You live there part time, don't you?
You are right there, Chris, because I'm back down there on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Nice mug. Can you pull up Gaz's comment about? He said that he got down to -11, and he didn't get any ice.
Let's see where. Down right here?
Yeah.
Here we are.
No, he's less than 3 feet deep, but
-11.
Yeah, 30 inches deep, went down to -11. And again, it's all about the way the pond's designed. I've only ever had a little bit of ice form on my pond, I think it was once.
You can leave the water running near the top, where when it's here, I can't because it'll freeze and get diverted just because of our temperatures. Right? You can get away with that. Where, I did that once and I paid the ultimate price and dropped the water about 1.5 feet and didn't know it, and the ice stayed up and the snow stayed on top of the ice, and you only had about 1.5 feet left of water.
Yeah,
and it killed all my koi.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
A couple of weeks ago, we had a show about elitism. Obviously with koi, you would find that a lot. Elitism, where different keepers.
We call it koi snobbery over here.
Yeah,
and it's not as bad as it used to be since the influx of social media.
Yeah,
especially YouTube, because there's a lot of people now actually doing more stuff on YouTube. Documenting how they do it, when they do it, and all this sort of thing. So then it's going out to a more of a
the mysticism just went a little bit about it, isn't it? So,
and don't get me wrong. when you get up into the higher echelons of the koi world, there is a degree of snobbery. But when you look at the monetary side of things, where you've got quality, good quality, top quality, there's not much of a middle ground between really good quality and top quality. But it leagues apart. Can you see what I mean? If that makes anything. I mean, I could go to one of my koi dealers and I could pick up, say, a 20 centimetre fish of a good quality for about £150.
Yeah.
Now, if you went across to Japan and you bought a really, really top quality from one of the Japanese breeders over there, you could be looking at £2,000, £3,000, £4,000 for the same size fish.
That's fish.
So between really good quality and top quality, there is a major jump.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that because you haven't got that top quality that you can't have good quality fish that grow really well in a small system with a homemade filter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of those hobbies, and you've got the other side of it as well, where beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
You know,
I think I had asked you one time, didn't I, about going to Maidenhead Aquatics and what's the fish like in Maidenhead Aquatics? And obviously, to you, the rubbish. But I was in there a couple of weeks ago and I seen one. And I thought, wow, that is pretty stunning. Just for it was only like that size. I thought, do I get it now and put it in one of the fish tanks and let it grow out in the fish tank?
If you want to do some fish, some koi, in a fish tank, get you sorted with some fish from New Forest Koi.
Can I interrupt for about 2 seconds? Is it me or am I going deaf? I'm just having a hard time hearing Vince. Is anyone else having a hard time hearing Vince? Or?
Can you turn Vince's mic up a bit, Jeff?
Let me see how do I do that here? Let me see here. I'm trying to figure out here. Edit mic settings. Oh, there we go. Let's bring them up. Okay, let's try that one right there. See how that goes. Okay, Mike.
Right. Now, have you been looking at koi? Is there any sort of type that caught your eye? So,
out of your ones, I would say there's. Well, I don't know the names of them yet, but there's one that's looks like it's got a black back, but it's orange and white, and it's probably about that long in your big pond outside.
Are you talking about my shower?
Sure, or it could be a Sankey.
It's got a grey back, white on its sides.
Oh, you're talking about Susan Vasagi, the big one.
Yeah. That looks nice. And also the white one with the orange head.
The Tancho Kahaka.
Yeah. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh. They got
them bred specially look like the Japanese flag, or?
That's exactly what it is.
Is it?
Yeah. Like a zero.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The red spot in the center.
They got those too. I seen double red spot, red, and they have a blue spot too on the top of their head. They call them the chancho.
Gaz just said, "Turn up Vince and lower the background music if you can."
Oh, sure. I can take that background music right out of there. Actually, I just had that on there earlier. Just to let me go ahead and.
That was just to cover. That was just to cover my voice off earlier.
No, that was to cover mine.
Yeah, you missed.
For anyone who doesn't know Vince, Vince is a pretty well-known guy on YouTube with respect to koi. He has all kinds of how-to and DIY videos, basically showing you don't have to be rich to be a koi keeper, and He does a lot of stuff with refurbished, and I'm amazed of what all he can build and cram into a small area. It's pretty amazing. The only thing you got to worry about, Vince, is one, you can't ask him if your ass looks fat in these pants, and two, you know, you're going to get the straight, honest truth in the world according to Vince.
Yeah.
That's the one. On the nose there. There is a reason why I call him my evil twin.
Yep.
So you mentioned that. So if you're on a budget, you can have a koi pond at a fairly reasonable price. Then is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So what the beginning price? To say the low end prices of a koi start at about what? What price?
It depends where you go, who you buy it from, who the breeder
Yeah.
is. It can be quite a minefield.
Yeah.
But like I say, I do a hell of a lot with New Forest Koi Farm, and they have an area that I call the pick and mix, and they've got fish in there ranging from a few centimeters up to about 10 centimeters, and they range from £2.50 a fish up to £7.50 a fish. And I've actually had fish from that pick and mix, grown them out, and that actually come away with some really good quality fish for next to nothing. And even the better quality fish that Ricky and the guys produce, the prices that they sell them at is like ridiculously low, but the quality is outstanding.
Those black and white ones for £40 that was in two videos ago.
The Shiro?
Nice.
Shiro.
Yeah. Them were really nice. That's it. That was the ones I would have been going for, mate. But I didn't want to say that, Vince. That was too obvious.
It's not necessarily the koi that are super expensive, even though they are expensive. It's doing up your pond and getting proper filtration for it. That's where your expense is going to come, and then your fish. You'll probably start out with some lower budget ones, and as your fish tastes changed and grow, then that's when you start adding or wanting more expensive fish. Mine are all, cheapy or given to me for doing work.
Right.
Similar to Vince, you get a bit of a deal for helping out, and
that's what
you're not breaking a budget.
Yeah, definitely. The tank I showed you earlier, Jeff, in the filter house. Now that tank itself is run on 2 air pumps. There isn't a water pump inside on that system. So I'm actually pulling water through the filter system and back into the tank via an air pump.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I got my whole fish room down here on one pump. It's of course, these are smaller tanks, of course, but I'm probably all these added up. I mean, 2 of your tanks probably add up all the gallons I got down here between your IBC and that. But
your air pump wouldn't be that much different in size.
No.
So it's like using like an airlift to take it up a level up. Is that what you're doing?
He's the king of airlift.
I was going to say, because you don't get much. Yeah, you don't get much lift for the air pressure, really. So you must be.
It all depends on the size of the air pump.
Right.
It really does. It all depends on the size of the air pump. And on my system, I'm running an LA60, which is a piston-driven air pump.
Right.
And that I'm getting I would say I'm getting about 3,000 to 4,000 litres an hour out of that air pump and that airlift, which on a little system of 260 gallons is perfect.
Is perfect, yeah.
And then I've got one other air pump which runs my bio chamber, which is basically a water butt.
Yeah.
So yeah. running a whole grown-on system on 2 air pumps.
Now, Vince, have you ever seen Green Machine Sweden's filtration system, Magnus's system he's built? If you haven't, do yourself a
I
favor.
haven't been getting any
His filter house.
notifications.
I seen that filter house where he's got the K1 in it.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of stuff he's built on his own, and he's using an IBC tank as well. It's really impressive. I think between the bog filter and then all his other filters in there, it's better than most water treatment facilities that you're going to see in a municipality. So if you haven't already checked that out, make sure you check it out. And he's a good guy.
This particular stream, we got the Aquatics Addicts Anonymous. I tell you something, I can feel myself starting to get to the point where you might see some koi.
Yeah.
Well, you've got the room.
I've measured up in the back garden. I've measured up already in the back garden. I'm just going to get past the wife.
Good.
Yeah. You want to do that, Matt? You're going to do that? You're thinking of it?
Yeah. I was thinking about it, yeah.
See where you started, man?
Nice.
I was hoping to go for more like a Japanese, because obviously the garden's pretty like a newer thing. It's not like your garden, Chris, where it's like a wildlife centre. Mine's more like minimalist. So mine's going to be the square pond with Japanese styling, I think. Make it look like a Japanese one if I can.
Oh, that would be cool.
But that'll be long into probably next year. I'll probably get it made over not this winter, but next winter, and then for the summer.
That's why you guys are lucky. You can build stuff during the winter. Good luck digging this stuff in the winter. It's hard enough in the summer.
Now, I got a question. If you was to build a pond outside, okay, and you had it dug out, if you were to pour concrete and then put a liner, how would that be? Would that be not a good way to do it?
I think it'd be a waste.
Yeah, if you're doing an in-ground pond and you're not coming out of the ground, then you'd be just as good with a bed of sand.
Yeah.
And then some
underlay
around the edge.
Say if you want a foot or two, if you want to come up a little bit, does it have like a glass panel where they come up when you feed them? And
yeah, well, if you wanted to do that, then you would look at a bottom drain type.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to have a glass. You can still put a window in with a liner.
Can you?
Just don't buy the cheap liners.
Right.
I mean, I've got one in my pond, and it's a cheap liner. And basically, what I mean by cheap liner, it looks very much like a tarpaulin.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Now, if you put any type of tank connector or something in, it will form a seal as a gasket. But if you try sealing the folds or anything shut, those folds will end up coming apart because nothing sticks to that cheap type liner.
Right.
So if you're gonna put a window in, then you really need to be looking at a rubber liner, a butyl liner, because that, once you stick the silicone to it, you ain't getting it apart. Right. I did it because the tank in my growing on shed, that was lined with a rubber liner, but it was a very long piece of liner, so we cut it down the middle and then joined it.
Right.
But before I joined it, what I did is I took a test piece, sealed it together with some silicone, and I left it 24 hours. And then on camera, I actually tried pulling it apart, and I thought I was going to burst a blood vessel, and it wasn't going anywhere. So if you're going to do that, then you can either get a a long butyl liner and do it all yourself and put folds in it, or if you've got the exact measurements, you can get what they call a box weld liner made. And
All right.
basically, you, they all weld it completely to shape. So you
Yeah.
literally hook it in, let it hang, fill it up with water, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, off you go.
Yeah.
But
That sounds a good option.
they are bloody heavy though. So
Yeah.
They are really heavy.
if you're going to do anything with a butyl liner, make sure you've got a couple of friends because you're going to need it.
Yeah.
Am I right, Chris?
Yeah, well, when we put that 30 by 30 liner in, that was the full 3 mil, and yeah, that's hundreds of pounds. Yeah.
So some things you go a little cheaper on some things, but like the liner you want to get.
Liner, you want the very best.
Yeah.
Well, they only sell one type of liner that I'm aware of here, and you're going to pay some bucks. Now you look around to get the best deal, but it's all basically the same liner up here. Yours, like I've seen, they look more like some of them are cheapy tarps, and they're not going to hold up. A good liner will last you 25 years or more.
Yeah.
And that's what you want it to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because you don't want to replace them like I had to. And that was after 25 years.
From experience, I've got one of these woven liners and it's been in, I think it's 6 or 7 years, and I'm actually getting deterioration in one of the corners. And because of that,
Yeah.
I'm losing about 1.5 inches a day that I'm having to top back up every day because of that. So, yeah, the saving has begun.
So I'm wondering if you wanted to do the part in ground and part out of the ground with the cement.
Yeah.
The part that's in the ground,
Okay.
is there's a way they could put like a polyurethane, a thick polyurethane, completely molded all the way in it? If something like that might.
If you was gonna concrete base it, block walls, so it was in the ground and out the ground, then if you didn't want to use a liner of any kind, the other option is either liquid rubber paint, which I know G-Love from Colossal Koi has used on 50,000 gallon pool. That thing's immense. There's also another YouTuber
But he's in the south though, and he doesn't have to deal with heaving and moving of the frost like you would.
Oh, okay.
We have a YouTuber over here, and she's just finished building her pond, and she painted that with rubber paint, and that's doing really well. Or you've got the third option, which is fiberglass.
Is that more pricey, or is that
Well, I don't know what the prices are over in the big pond, but over here, yes, it can be very expensive.
It's expensive here too.
Is it better, or is it? I mean, you could probably get away with it.
The longevity of fiberglass of a fiberglass pond, if it's done properly, is how long's a piece of string? A lot longer than what a butyl liner would last. I reckon.
Yeah.
You would just want it really thick if you're going to do it in the north. Again, because of weather, right?
Yeah.
Thick fiberglass. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can see those preformed fiberglass pools that they drop into people's properties.
Yeah.
You'd want one that thick.
Okay.
And you'll find 99% of the people that have in-ground, out-ground ponds, you'll find 99% of them will line the walls internally with some kind of insulation, whether it be Celotex or polystyrene, and you'll find most fiberglass ponds have been lined with Celotex before it's actually fiberglass, because then holds the heat in and helps retain heat. And then They either enclose it in like a greenhouse, or they build covers for it, or they just leave it for the winter and let them have a natural cycle.
Yeah.
That's interesting how many different things go into this. I like that. It's interesting.
I watched one that. Sorry, go on.
So many different options, and it's all subjective. How do you want it to look? What do you want from it? And every scenario is different.
Do you want to pull up Silver Creek's question?
Okay, I'm probably pretty far behind in the.
No, it's just
it's just a couple up there.
Oh, let me see here.
I don't know what it is, so I can't answer it.
Let me find it here. Is it?
It's about he's wondering if the
liner.
rhino liner would work.
What's that?
It's just the last couple comments. It's he's wondering if rhino liner would work. I've never heard of it.
Rhino. Oh, yeah, that's what they used to do. Like, there it is. Yeah, that's what they used to line like a pickup truck bed. They'll spray it in.
Okay, that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's whether or not it leaches when submersed in water.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You also got to remember a lot of the products. Some of them have built-in algicides and other chemicals in them, so there won't be mold or algae, right?
So it's
that breaks down. That's going to kill your fish.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit like your silicon on your aquariums, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you can only use certain types of silicone and stuff like that because they don't leach, which is why you'll find most of the aquatic silicones or sealers now are some kind of MS polymer.
Yeah, I was going to reseal one of my aquariums, and I was looking at the silicone, and some of them have the anti-mold. I know you can't use that. That will kill the fish.
Yeah, it'll kill your fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it leaches into the water.
I watched one the other day, Phil. It was you had actually done it by, you had like a silicon gun, and it was like big sausages of this stuff, and then he squirted it all over the wood.
That
and he troubled it.
I think my.
Is that good?
Yeah, we're good. I think a issue there for a second. I said my Wi-Fi went off for a quick second. Sorry about that.
All right.
That is a new product actually that's just been created by Carl from CWD Pond. He calls it liquid liner. He's also created a new aquatic silicone called My MS300. I think it's called My Pond MS300. And honestly,
was it his brother-in-law's he was doing on that video? It followed on from on yours, and I thought,
you're talking about Danny from Danny's Koi channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Dan. He's a good lad, and I know the video you're on about.
Yeah, that follow. Like when yours finishes it, another one will start about koi, and then it goes down the rabbit hole. So I was watching that, and I thought, that's pretty good. You done a good job with trolling it out. Was fantastic. It looked like it had been painted on.
Yeah, and it's bloody good stuff. And the guy, like I say, the gentleman who created that has created this new aquatic silicone, and that stuff is amazing. I mean, I used some to instead of I didn't have no solvent weld adhesive, so I smeared a bit of that around the pipe, shoved it in the fitting, and then realised I'd put the fucking wrong bit of pipe in, and 30 minutes later I couldn't get the thing apart.
Couldn't get it out. I had to cut it again.
So yeah, I had to start again from scratch, and that's the My Pond MS300 that Carl's created. The same gentleman who created the liquid liner stuff.
June said she needs at least 2 feet deep for hers. I didn't know she had that.
Yeah, me neither. I'd be interested in seeing that.
I was going to say you also. I seen here, not too far from here, out by the cottage. There's a guy that has a koi pond, and it's really interesting because it starts outside, and then it goes into his house. And when you get inside, it has all glass panel around it. he's sunk a lot of money into that or something. It's really, he says, all he has to do is in the wintertime, he just kind of like migrates all the fish inside and then closes it off.
Yep. Yeah.
Be interesting
We've,
too.
I hate to see it cheating, but
done something similar.
Yeah, well, when he closes it off, I think then he likes to heat the inside for the winter.
Yeah.
And then,
Are you sure he's not a James Bond villain? Sounds like,
you ought to
it
see
sounds
that,
that, doesn't it?
it's
Sitting
like
there like that, watching it happen.
it's like a koi. It's like a koi layer in there once you get in there.
does he want a Canadian friend?
Does he need someone to clean the gas?
Yeah. Well, he did all the work himself. He's one of those. What do they call it? A CAD.
Oh yeah, CAD
He did
engineer, but they're doing it.
Oh,
Yeah, he did all.
Yeah.
He did a whole bunch of really interesting stuff. He had like a panel where you press a button and everything would just. It was interesting how he did it. I got to stop back by there now after this and check it and go visit again. Maybe I can get some film on it and show everybody. It's interesting. Yeah.
What's your next question there?
Next. Good question. Okay, the next question, and here we go. So we got the first one there. Second question. Number one important piece of advice for those thinking of a first-time pond. In other words, something that.
Can I answer it first, and then I'll let Vince go?
Sure.
Whatever you're thinking of for the size, double it.
You bastard.
Double it. Okay.
You'll be building another one.
Yeah.
I was thinking that. I was wondering about that. I thought, what would do if you got one, you build one, you like it. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I could have a 20-foot pond instead of a 10-foot pond or whatever, and then that's good.
One of my two things is research is one, and the second one is once you've finished your research and you've come up with a design and that's what you want, look at the size and then double it, because guarantee you'll have that pond running about 6 months and you'll stand there looking at it going, that could have been bigger. I could have done this. I could have done that.
Yep.
So yeah.
Then you have to tell the missus, I want a bigger one. She's probably saying the same though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's my boy. So yeah, there we go. Research, and if it's your first pond, whatever you come up with, double it, because you're going to end up taking it down and rebuilding it later on down the line. So you might as well go out, do it once, do it right first time, and then you can just sit back and enjoy it then.
And then you won't have 5 ponds in your backyard.
Yeah.
Well,
You've got one on me, because I've only got 4.
Well, yours are for different reasons though. I mean, you've got like a rearing as in a fry tank or a fry pond. Then you've got a tosai pond. Then you've got your main show pond. And then sure, because you tore down your front yard pond, I'm sure you're going to have to get one more in there somewhere. I'm sure you've already got it in plans there, Vince. I know you have. You're up in your little room, figuring all this out.
Yeah.
And you figured out where you're going to put your next pond. I know it. I bet my last hair on it.
I've got no more space. I've got 4 systems in my back garden and no more space. Absolutely no more space for another body of water.
Yeah.
I can see June here. She says the same thing about the aquarium. So get as big as you can.
Yep.
Good piece of advice. I do want to get a big tank in here. I do want to do that because I got some cichlids upstairs that need to be in a bigger tank than here.
That'd be nice to have a show tank in your basement.
Oh yeah, I want to get something. Most of my tanks in here, I just do a lot of breeding, and stuff like that. I love sitting down here watch. Even the tanks, they're not that. I still enjoy it. but I want to make one that really, with plants and a bunch of stuff, make it look really nice. You know, get a nice.
The only thing I would say with doing it in the basement is get yourself some really good lighting.
Yeah, I got this crap lighting down here right now. Especially the room lighting itself is almost non-existent. I just got the tanks and I got a few floodlights here and there. I got this one turned off up above me because I'll look like a ghost otherwise. If I turn it on.
There is a company that does actual full spectrum lights for putting over koi tanks.
Oh, okay.
So there is that you could look at, or you've got the other way you could go is parabolic shades with metal halide lights, because a metal halide light emits that white blue light that you get in summer.
Right.
So it then mimics the summertime lighting. So it also gives you UV and shit as well. So that also helps, because that's one disadvantage to keeping koi indoors. If you don't have the right lighting, then things like your benny will start to fade and disappear. The benny being the red will start to fade and disappear. And once benny disappears, it's gone for good. It won't come back. So you could buy a really expensive red, white, and black fish, show or raw sanky, and keep it indoors under the wrong lighting. The red can disappear, and that expensive show or sanky has just become a cheaper Shiro or Becco. Can you see what I mean? So
right.
So
the red's called a benny. The red in a
red
fish is a benny.
Red is Benny, white is Shiroji, black is Sumi, and yellow is Ki.
Right.
I seen one that was yellow and white one time, and it was beautiful, just really vivid.
Lemon Harawaki.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. I got a lot to learn with this. I tell you, there's so many different types. You know,
it's unbelievable,
Jeff. That is just the beginning.
Yeah. Because you get your metallics on top of that as well. Like the one I had seen was like a metallic gold, but not like the goldfish. It was like a yellow gold.
Yeah, Yamabuki Ogon.
Then I see now butterfly koi. One called a butterfly.
Oh God, no! They're abominations.
Those are Vince's favorite.
Oh. Those are abomination. The butterfly koi. Okay.
Yeah, in his world, yeah. I don't have any either.
Okay.
Although I love long-tailed shabumpkin, I would not have a longfin koi. I would not have a dragon / butterfly koi. No. Not for me.
You know, I don't really go for the longfin fish myself either. I just don't like the bristlenose plecos. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. Some people like them, but I wouldn't have them. I don't think I'd have them in my fish room, really.
I've got both on the bristlenose plecos, and I do prefer the shorter fin ones.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them. But they're just, I mean, people have different tastes of their fish they want. They want a long fin fish. They want, you know. I just think,
don't get me wrong. If you can get a really good example, but you're talking, if you're going to get a really good example of a butterfly koi, you're going to be paying serious amounts of money, because when you get a really good butterfly koi, even though the fins are elongated, they've still got that fin shape to them. But you'll find 95% of the butterfly koi out there, as the fins get bigger, as the fish gets bigger, the ends of the fins tend to look tatty and ratty, not fin shaped. Can you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like them.
So Silver Creek was saying here, so his idea for his pond is a 10-foot by 20-foot and 4-foot deep, and he says so that needs doubles.
I make it wider. I'd go wider.
Yeah.
I'm taking
if you could go
Bicycles and
to
speedos.
go 15.
Uh,
Yeah, I'd go 15 by 20 by 4 because you're going to have a real big surface area there. And if you get the filtration and the movement right, yeah, you'll end up with a really nice body of water there.
And he says that well, he's in Texas, so I don't think the depth would have to be doubled. I don't think.
No, you don't go
No,
all the day.
well,
no.
Texas
Don't-
can
don't-
get pretty damn
don't go
cold
down like
in the winter, depending on where.
Yeah.
Like if you're in northern Texas, it's damn cold, and then your depth is going to help you in the summertime because they get such heat that if you a little bit down
So it
deeper,
works both ways.
it's gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna help
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Otherwise, you've got basically a hot tub for fish.
Yeah.
So in that instance, Silver, what I would do is I would go 15 by 20 by 5 foot. 2 foot out, 3 foot in.
We go 5 foot deep.
Yeah.
5 foot deep.
Okay.
2 foot out the ground, 3 foot in the ground.
Plus, in Texas, it's you're not dealing with solid clay. It's going to be a lot easier digging.
Yeah, I think if I did this over here, I don't know if I couldn't dig it by hand. I don't think I'd probably have to have a.
Digging bone dry soil can be a bitch.
Oh yeah. I had to get a steam shovel in here or something to dig it out. Get a.
You get a mini as excavator in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Dig it down. I think here, if I was to do one, oh, you guys are gonna get me in trouble. I'm gonna get in trouble here. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I warn you, once you start, it gets addictive.
Oh, you know what? You guys carry on for a minute. My wife I'll be back in just about 2 minutes. Okay, you guys go right ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and just turn this.
He's going to get wrong off I know because he's been listening. You're not getting them.
Oh no, I'll be back in just a second, guys. Go ahead.
Or maybe it won't be.
Yeah. Cassie will be
Now,
throttling them now.
what measurements are you thinking about for your back garden then?
I haven't got a very big area, so it would have to be 4 foot deep, and it would have to probably be the most I could probably get is 6 foot wide by probably about 12 foot long.
That's not
Okay.
bad, though.
That would
Not
be
bad.
the max. That would be the max I could get, and it still look like I still got a bit of a back garden.
Yeah. Is
You know
that
what I mean?
accommodating somewhere to hide your filters as well?
Well, what I could do, I'll quickly just wait. I was going to say I'll quickly show you, but
It's pitch black out there.
see where that wall is, where the boiler is in the corner.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Have I got right? That's it.
Yeah.
That's where I could come through the wall and have all my filtration in my fish room. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
from that side. So
Yeah.
I could do it that way on. So
And
I
that'll
could
help you.
actually.
That'll help you heat it somewhat in the wintertime.
Well, that's what I
Yeah.
was thinking, Chris, because I was actually thinking, because I've got an old hot tub pump of just running a hot water line at a deeper depth. So in the winter, I could just put the 2 taps on and run a hot water line through the bottom part just to keep that like 2 degrees warmer.
One of the guys I follow in Canada, one of the few koi guys,
Yeah,
he lives in the city, which is warmer than us by about
yeah,
5 degrees Celsius or more, probably closer to 10. But he's got both his filters, which aren't huge, are in his basement. But what
yeah,
is really different, he covers his ponds totally.
yeah.
But he puts a vent right out there in the wintertime. So he's blowing, like when his furnace kicks on, it's blowing air
Hot
into
air.
there, and he keeps his probably, I would think it's at least 18, if not 19 Celsius during the winter in
Wow.
there, and he's not paying any extra to heat it. It's a really, ingenious way to do it. And he's feeding them all through winter. Like he'll clean off the snow and they'll get there. If there was something happened to one of the fish, it'd be a pain in the ass because he'd have to take all the styrofoam and all the insulation off, which, you'd run into the danger of that. That's why
Are you talking about Sydney from my koi run?
Sorry, say that again, Vince.
Are you talking about Sydney from my koi run?
Yep.
Ah, yeah. Good channel. Sid's a good lad.
Good guy.
Yeah.
And then, you got my koi obsession. He just brings them all into the basement.
Yep.
And his pond is deep enough, and he lives in the city right off.
Yeah, Will's got me on speed dial.
That's right. Hey, if you're gonna learn from people know what they're talking about here, so it's whoops. Oh, that's the wife again. Okay. She just needed me to give her a code that came across my phone. Sorry about that, guys. All right.
Yeah.
Question number 2 then, Jeff.
You follow
Ken. Yeah, we got another question coming up here.
Okay.
Here's an interesting one. This is one Mel came up. This is his question. I thought it was really fascinating.
Did I?
Yep. For the untrained eye, koi and goldfish, what determines the price fluctuations from one to another?
I think we nearly covered that at the start, didn't we? Really?
Yeah, well, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're dealing with apples and oranges here, right?
Yeah.
Koi are koi. You're going to be paying a little bit more generally than for ordinary goldfish.
Yeah.
You're getting a different species altogether with koi as you are with goldfish. Now, I keep both, and I like my shabunkins, and I like my koi. But they're two. I saw that. But they're two different. They're apples and oranges, or pears. A good shabunkin's going to run you some money. When I say money, $25-$50. Where a nice koi, you're gonna, just for a nice one, you're going to be starting at $25.
Yeah.
But with koi, you're going to get hopefully a fish that's going to outlast you, and your kids are going to enjoy it. Where your goldfish is going to last 10, 12, 15 years max.
Right.
How long do kois live? How long can they live?
That's all depends on temperature. They say the oldest living recorded koi was 226 years old, but that was kept.
I'm going to call. I'm calling bullshit on that one, but
226 years old?
No, look it up. Look it up.
No, I did.
But
I also looked up that I'm a handsome dude, but my mom wrote that.
Pretty good.
I heard the sturgeon can live a long time. The sturgeons, and sometimes people will keep sturgeons in koi. They live a long time like that. Wow, that's.
I think Vince went to check with my mom to see if she actually said that.
Yeah.
It's like keeping a parrot. Those parrots can live a long time.
Yeah. Koi do live a long time, or some can. I've heard about this one,
depending on temperature.
But I'm not buying that's 226 years old.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't discount anything unless I knew for sure. I mean, it's interesting. Somebody claimed it, right? That it's 226. So
yeah.
Yep.
Now I have no qualms that they live. Could live to 100.
Count it like you would the rings on a tree stump. So if you actually looked at a koi scale, you'll see the rings as it's got bigger and bigger, and then they count the rings like.
Oh wow!
But the thing is, you could have two fish from the same spawning.
Yeah.
One kept 12 degrees for the whole of its life, and one kept at 20 degrees for the whole of its life. The one at 20 degrees will age faster
Yep.
than the
Right.
one at 12 degrees.
Yeah, that's pretty much norm. Like if you look at a species that you and I would know, Jeff, like a bass. A northern bass will live twice as long as a southern bass, and the same with the carp that live in the south as compared to the north, because they go dormant for half the year or better.
Right.
Slows down their metabolism, so they live longer.
So
Yeah.
the dormancy could extend its life,
Ah,
nearly
yeah.
double it.
So temperature does make a big difference on that. Okay.
It'll affect whether,
But
only the healthy
same
ones are going to survive the cold, right?
Yeah.
So basically, the ideal thing is to keep them as cool as possible, yet warm
no,
enough
no, no, no,
to
no, no, no.
feed good. No?
No, I don't know about that. I still think it's important for uh, koi and goldfish to go through a dormant or a winter phase,
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes,
but
I fully agree with you.
not so cold that it's going to affect their health or put them at risk.
Well, I didn't mean
Yeah.
it's
Here
cold.
they're at risk during the winter, but in a controlled environment, or especially in the UK, in Vince's case, where they're sheltered, they're going to go through their uh, cool or cold phase, and they're going to get taken off food, and they're going to slow right down. But that
Yeah,
period isn't that long compared to here,
no,
where it's half a year.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think the lowest my pond went down to last year, I think, was 4 degrees.
Yeah.
Now, really, I'd prefer through the winter to be able to maintain that at a consistent 8 degrees, because then they're still going to want a little bit of food now and then. Everything's still ticking along nicely, but they still get that slow down repair period that they need after growing through the summer. And that's
Yeah.
the other thing is temperature is very important when it comes to growth and development, especially for quality fish. A quality fry to toasai, you know, you want to give them the best that you can for as long as you can to be able to get that potential out of it. And what I mean by that is if the fish has got the potential to grow big, it will do a big bulk of its first set of growing in the first 3 years.
Right.
So if you can for the first year keep them at 26 degrees, then they're going to have the best optimum temperature for their growing, for their metabolism, and everything else. So if they've got the genetics to grow, they're going to do the big bulk of their body work, so to speak, in the first 3 years, and then it's a slow progression as they get bigger and bigger. Then
So now with your koi, is there a certain type of food that's better than others that you would recommend? I mean, you want to give them the good stuff. So
yeah,
Mungo.
well,
what is it called?
they say that the best of the koi food is sake hikari, which is a Japanese food. Um, it's very expensive. You're talking £200 for a 15-kilo sack.
Oh wow,
So
it is expensive.
yeah,
It is.
I I feed a koi food called takazumi, and for a 10-kilo sack of that, I'm looking at £95. So there's a big difference in the price in that respect, but there isn't a great deal of difference in the actual food itself.
I wish that
So
was available here, or easier to get. That's just not.
How long would that last you, Vince? That £10 sack?
that 10-kilo sack, well, uh, so far this season, I've gone through almost 30 kilo of pellets.
Right. So it's cost you nearly £200, if not more.
But that's a combination of other size foods as well, because
Yeah.
I've got
Crabs.
Takazumi Junior. I used to do Takazumi Junior Premium for the fry and the small fish, and then I've got the Takazumi mix for the main pond. Um, some of the ones in the toast fry tank will take that for 4.5 mil pellet, but they still prefer the 2 to 3 mil pellet at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not a lover of going over a 4.5 mil pellet.
Yeah.
Anything bigger than that, I'm not a lover of it. I'm a firm believer that the smaller the pellet, the easier and the quicker that the fish is going to digest it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that same way too about the tropical fish food.
And you'll find a lot of koi farms will feed a 3 mil pellet across the board, unless it's fly where they need to have a smaller pellet. But even the bigger fish get a 3 mil pellet. And Chris mentioned the Munger mix. Well, the Mega Munger mix was something that has been created by Ricky at New Cross Koi Farm, and it's basically a mixture of natural veg powders, and it's basically just a color booster. And
Right.
what you
Oh,
do
is that the
is,
stuff that they were putting in the bags and then shaking them?
yeah,
Yeah.
and then put your basically what you do is you dissolve all these powders. There's a beetroot powder, carrot powder, mangosteen, spirulina. There's a few others in there, and literally you put that in, put your water in, dissolve the powder,
Yeah.
put your pellets in, tie the bag up, soak all the mix into the pellet, because with the water and that it soaks into the pellet and grips the pellet, and then you
Yeah.
just feed that pellet as normal. But like I say, I have noticed a big difference in the feeding habits since I've started doing that. And
Yeah.
like Ricky says, the only thing I can put it down to is when when the pellets get soaked in the munger mix, it also softens the pellet, but it doesn't stop it from floating. Now, if you're a fisherman, you you know if you soak your pellets, they then sink. But
Yeah.
doing it this way, your floating pellets then still float, so they're then able to eat more quicker because it's soft already before they even start.
Yeah.
So, and another thing I've done in the past, and that is I've soaked my pellets in pure orange juice
Yeah.
and then fed them the next day. The way of getting vitamin C into them.
Right.
But there's also the other side of it. They get crab sticks, they get gem lettuces, they get orange. They're not a lover of watermelon, but I know there's quite a few people out there that have got koi that love watermelon.
Yeah.
Here's a funny.
They get
My plecos love watermelon.
they get the occasional bit of grated cheese. They love that. If I've got any rice left over after we have
They sound
curry or
like
something,
puppies.
they get any cooked rice that's left over,
Yeah.
sweet corn, any peas that are left over, they get that as well.
Shrimp.
They see what you've got to remember is, and I know people like Gaz, he gets when you go to somewhere like Iceland, you can get this seafood mix where it's got
Yeah.
uh, supposed
Mussels
squid
and
rings and mussels
squid
and stuff
rings.
like that. Well, they love that. They'll go
Yeah.
absolutely batshit over that, absolutely patty over it, you know. But it's all protein, but
Yeah.
it's it's unadulterated protein in the fact that you can't do anything with a mussel. There's nothing you can add to it.
It's
It's
not like you
just
can soak up
it,
extra.
you see what I mean? It's natural in that respect. And the
Yeah.
other thing is, they're a carp. Carp are omnivores. They're omnivorous, which means if it's edible and they can get it in their mouth, They'll
eat it.
fucking well eat it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No ifs, no buts, no maybes. Yeah, which is
They'll
why
eat just about anything.
if you don't do a controlled spawning, you'll guarantee that when you come down the next morning, they'll be truffle
Like
left
you
because
say,
they will
that's
just
a lot.
literally gorge on it until it's gone.
Yeah.
So
Now, I like to feed my fish North Fin if I can afford it, and when I can afford it. Not as many. There are, the Carry brands here, which I don't find them that great. I mean, one of their first ingredients is wheat, so that's not what I'm looking for. Northfin, it's gonna be my first few are gonna be all fish meal, which
Yeah.
they'll tell you, which is whole sardine, it's herring, it's krill, like Arctic krill. Yeah, if those are the first ingredients, which is a protein base, I'm all for it. If your first ingredient is a wheat base, I'm not too impressed.
Right.
well, we got a food company over here called Coppens, where they're actually in Europe, but we won't split hairs. But they've actually changed quite a few of their food ranges from fish meal to chicken meal because it's cheaper.
Well, it's a lot better than when you see what the protein base and it's going to be a feather meal. Feather meal is a protein base. You're telling me you're grinding up feathers and you're feeding that to the fish?
But you
Talk,
say that
talk about your scraps.
Keeps them warm in
when
winter.
when I was in the army and we did a survival course, we were actually asked where is the most protein in a bird, and
Feathers.
believe it or not, it is the feathers.
Really? Wow.
Yep. And what you have to do is you have to boil them down to a mush and then try eating it. Not nice flavor,
Hmm.
trust me.
I'm sure there's lots of
But
protein in fingernails and hair, but I don't want to eat that either.
absolutely stock full of protein, and yeah, you'll find most of the protein on a bird is actually in its feathers, and it's the
Wow.
first thing that gets chucked away.
Hmm. Interesting. I never knew that. I know the Hikari, I feed a lot of the Hikari in my fish, down here because, well, number one, it's decent for the cichlids that I keep and all that, but the first ingredient in this is fish meal. But then right after that, Chris says wheat flour.
Yeah, but when it says fish meal, but you don't know what from what.
Yeah. Well, they eat it. I mean, I throw
I,
this.
I, I think it's important to know where the fish meal is or
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Which is why I love feeding crab sticks because we know it's not crab; it's just processed white fish.
Yeah.
But again, it's it's unadulterated fish in that respect. Can you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can't ask for a better protein, and over here, a packet of crab sticks is less than a pound.
Yeah, you're right. Go to Tesco, you can get them. What, 20 crab sticks for a pound, something like that, isn't it?
Something like that. Yep. When mine get crab sticks, they'll do 2 packets in one sitting, and that's just the main one. I mean, Betty, she sucks a whole crab stick in on one.
I've seen.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah. Mine get it if I haven't eaten it first.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, I dropped that one.
They taste like shit, Chris.
I'm
Okay.
at the pollock imitation crab meat,
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
which they make the filet o fish out of. I think.
I've had pollock fish and chips before. It was decent. I mean, I like cod better, but
If you can
Oh,
afford
I
cod.
prefer to
all right. So we got
have it.
another question here. This is going to be an interesting one. I already know one of the answers for the goldfish.
We're gonna have an
Chris
easy one on this one. What is your favorite type of koi and or goldfish? Well, let me guess, Vincent. Ready? Puro Utsuri.
He's right. Shiro Utsuri.
I gotta,
Basically, a
I
black
gotta look
and
these
white
up.
fish.
I gotta look these up. All these different types of koi.
And what fish is mainly in my pond? What
Shabunk.
fish is mainly in?
Showa.
And what's the next one to it?
Mr.
Shiro
Bumpkin.
Utsu.
Which
Yeah.
one?
Yep.
Chris likes his Showa.
Showa, and then it followed by Shiro.
So
Shiro
a
Utsuri.
Showa is a three-colored fish. So your three colors is red, black, and white. But a Showa is actually a black fish with white and red markings.
Yep.
Now, you've also got a Sankey, which has red, white, and black on it. But a Sankey is a white fish with black and red markings.
Hmm.
And Jeff's sitting there going,
Yeah.
Some are really hard to tell apart.
yeah.
Especially, and then you're looking, to find the smallest little bit of black on the fins. And then you go, okay, and I know who you are.
Mhm. And not only that, both Showa and any type of Utsuri, you can do a first selection at 2 weeks old.
Yep. Your first call.
So your fry are about this big, and you can do a first selection on that at 2 weeks old. Because at 2 weeks old, all you want are the black fry. And literally, when you look in the bowl, you'll see two colours, black and white.
Yeah.
Now, if any of them fry at 2 weeks old are white, they'll never get a speck of black on them
Right.
because they're actually white. But
Ah.
all the black ones will end up becoming either your Shiro Utsuri, your Hitsuri, or your Showa. Or, if you like your yellow, a Kitsuri.
Now,
So a Shiro Utsuri is white and black. A Kitsuri is yellow and black. And a Hitsuri is red and black.
I know Chris breeds the Shabunkin goldfish. Do you breed kois as well, Chris?
I have. I haven't recently.
Now, do they move when you breed them? I mean, of course, you get how many eggs do they lay at a time?
A koi or a Shabunkin?
The koi.
Oh, Jesus. Tens of thousands of eggs, depending on the size of the female, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What age do they normally start spawning?
Tens of thousands. I mean, what do you do with all the fry? I mean, if you got to select through them, the ones you want to keep.
Well, you're going to do a lot of culling.
Yeah, you do
a lot of culling. And then you're going to end up with a few that you like.
Okay.
Out of that 10,000.
Now, the ones that you cull,
But a lot of free fish food.
Oh, they'd be fish food. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know that when I had my convicts, and I mean, I keep the convicts, they breed, all the time. I had a couple of Oscars that, I had, you end up with hundreds and hundreds of these little fry, and you're.
But they all look basically the same, except for you get the odd one with a deformity, and you're looking for a fish that's growing bigger than anything else. When you breed koi, you're into a whole different ball game. You've got all different colors, all different shapes, head shape, body shape, whether they've gone back to their natural look, and then you're what would you say? 90% get called out, Vince?
I would say if you're going for the top, then you're looking at 5% out
if
of
you're looking for quality.
Yeah, you're looking at about 5% out of 100 that you keep.
And with my Shabunkins, I'm going to do the first call, and I'm going to lose almost 50% right there. And then after that, there's going to be about 5 to 10% that I'm going to consider keeping. The rest I'm going to sell.
Mm-hmm. And then you'll find out that 5 to 10%, only 1 to 2% will actually be top quality.
Yeah.
That's if you've selected the right ones when you've been going through your selection.
Then Ginger has a question here for how many of the fry get eaten by the parents and don't remove the or is it all? I think it's all of them. You said earlier, if you don't take them out, they'll eat every one of them.
Yep.
Unless you've got plants where they can hide, right? So if you got a natural one like mine, you're going to have some that survive. Where you've got one like Vince's, they're going to all be food.
Like when they have cichlids here, I mean, if I let them spit their babies in there because they're a mouth brooder. So once they're free swimming, and the female will hold them as long as she can, and she'll even let them out, and then she'll take them back in her mouth if they're threatened.
Yeah.
But you just leave them in there. 98% of them, I might get 1 or 2 fry out of each batch that make it. If I don't take her out, put her in another tank, but I'd have every tank down here full of them if I kept every single one. Honestly, there'd just be hundreds and hundreds.
Yeah. When
one of my other favorite koi that I really struggle to find a good quality one, but once you do, I think you'll like them. Are Goramo. What do you think, Vince? You don't like them?
No. No. I think Bruce Carter.
I seen a black and white that was really beautiful. It was white, is really vivid white, really contrasting black, and it had red too. I just don't know what type that would.
That'd be a show or a Sankey.
Yeah, that'd be a show or a Sankey. But you say that though, Chris. If it was Deutsch, it could be a Benny Monroe.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
This is like a foreign language to me because I don't know anything about them. It's just.
It's a bit like Spanish to me because I'm catching little bits what I can understand, but
yeah,
hey, it's a slow process, and we all walked in going,
I'm just about to say
I want the red and white one, or I want the 3 colored ones, or I like the black ones. We all started out that way, and then you just slowly learn. And then I've been in the hobby a long time, but I can't distinguish all the breeds like Vince. Like when he starts going, okay, this is this and this is that, I'm going, I thought it was just a mutt.
Yeah.
And some are just mutts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Daniel. Yeah. Say hello, Daniel. Daniel Fish Keeping.
Hi, Daniel.
Hey,
anybody in the chat? I just want to
say Magnus, for dropping in.
Yes, thank you so much.
Sorry about that.
Here we are. Koi Karma. Hey, Magnus, catch you later.
Okay. Koi Karma is one of my best mates. That is. That's Rocket Boy.
That's Rocket Boy, is it?
That's Rocket Boy.
The only.
I honestly thought you was going to go over them waders the day when you went in the pond, mate.
We were waiting on it.
I was thinking I was going to pull them waders out with him in.
I tell you what, in that first mud pond, the silt in there was unreal, absolutely unreal. But when we did the lake, when we did the live, that was in one degree it was a lot easier because you wasn't battling with the silt because that has just been refilled because it's had about 8 foot of silt taken out of it. So it was easier in that respect, but at the same time, we ended up with bloody great chunks of clay and stone and everything in the same net as well. So not only was we pulling it through the water and catching the fish, it was also dragging all the bloody
Aye.
loose
Thank
See,
soil
it
and
felt like a motorbike, didn't it? They got said.
oh yeah. But yeah,
That's another thing I wanted to ask you. You know how I think it was Rick had says that the pH affected the benny in the fish.
yeah.
Does it affect what? Does it affect all colours, the pH, or is it just the benny?
No, what it is because the mud ponds run completely different to a man-made system would be.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
with the fact that you've got the natural clay and everything else in there and the plants and whatnot, the pH will be different to
yeah.
what it would be in a
Out your
normal
house.
system or a pond like what I've got now. So when they were coming out the mud pond and they were looking that pale orangey colour instead of a
Yeah,
bright vibrant red, a lot of that is because of the colour of the water, you're not getting the UV penetration,
right.
which is why that Benny tends to take, like Rick said, a softer look. But give that a week or so in an outdoor pond, and then that Benny will start changing
It would
and
coming
going
back with
back
it.
to the colour it is. Yeah,
Does
it's
it? Does
when
it?
And
Sorry,
then
go on.
water temperature, like with on Sumi, like especially with the Ashiros, when it gets colder, the coloring or the black or the Sumi really starts to come out. At
yeah,
least
it's
that's what
really
I
nice.
find. It's like you're going,
Yeah,
wow, where the hell were you all
Yeah,
summer?
right.
yeah,
Can
yeah,
you get
and
them
you
actually
so
change
much.
all together from what you bought? Can you?
yeah,
Because sometimes you
but
buy
there is only
goldfish and they start off black and they go a total different colour when they're
you've
different.
got a couple of variety. Well, you've got a couple of variety, or two varieties really that will change colour, and it all boils down to unpredictable sumi,
Yep.
Right.
and that is the Comonru, and you've got two types of Comonru. You've got the Comonru or the Benny Comonru. So basically, they're a Deutsch fish. So if you think of a leather carp, but in koi, and
Yeah.
that's what you've got. That's a Deutsch fish. Deutsch, it translates to scaleless. So it's basically when the Japs bred a koi with a mirror carp, leather carp, and then that's how it came
That's how
about.
it came out.
But with a Comonru, depending on temperature, water quality, the black can change from one part of the year to the next.
Right.
So you could have an all black fish at the start of the season and then a black and white fish at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
He had comet goldfish early on, and I had to start out gold, and it turned into a white and orange. It kind of like went.
yeah,
Some of the colors will leach out, and it happens with koi too, depending on quality of feed, depending on tank quality and genetics. Like I've had several uh, show that I thought were going to be good that just the heat just washed right out. It was like it just wasn't thick enough, deep enough,
yeah,
and
it's
sometimes you
getting
can
that
tell
stability
just by
in
the looks of them how deep it is in their scales.
Hmm. It's interesting because I had the red devil cichlids that they'd be orange, but they'd also go through this metamorphosis, but they'd turn like white, and then they go back to full orange again. They'd change colors quite a bit.
That's usually to do with breeding and um, food. Like I know with my barbs, if I give them live foods, they'll really brighten up and then go into spawning colors. Uh, Koi aren't the same. They don't do that.
no.
At least I don't find they do that.
And the cichlids, they'll
Yeah,
start
you'll
out
find
in form, they'll be like a darker colored, and then as they call it peeling.
Yeah.
Where the colors will peel off it, and pretty interesting. I didn't know it did it with
Yeah, with koi, if the red starts to, they call it break down. It's sort of like, it looks like it's pixelating, and then it just disappears and falls off.
Then Ginger says, I bought a panda goldfish once that turned totally white as they aged. Paid a lot of money and got screwed. Learned my lesson here.
The same with
Yeah.
koi until they, some fish, they don't finish developing until they're 4 or 5 years old.
Okay. Let's see here. We have another question here. Let's go ahead and put that up real quick.
Yep.
Here's the last question. This is of course I went through these with Vince earlier. I wanted to show him just before it started out. So I know that Chris keeps warm water fish, the barbs. So now I forgot. I don't know if I forget, but you don't keep any warm water fish at all, Vince, right now, or
No. Like I say, I've got the growing on tank that's in the filter house. That's constantly set at 24 degrees. That doesn't change at all. Period. So that, you could say, is my warm water fish in that respect. But no, the only other thing we've got in the house is the turtles that belong to my son.
Right.
Okay. Have you ever thought about starting an aquarium with some tropical fish, though? Just
I have had the odd tropical aquarium in the past, but it's just the koi just is. I've been doing it now 20 years, and it's just ingrained in me now. It's become part of my lifestyle more than anything else.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I mean, like with me, I'm like on the outside looking into the koi right now because I've never kept, other than like the occasional goldfish. I mean, in the past, it's been decades ago, but keeping all the tropical like cichlids and other fish, this is a whole new aspect for me to see about the koi. That's really, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of detail to it.
Well, it doesn't have to be complicated though. It can, and keep it simple is one of the mantras that I use.
Yeah.
As long as you've got a good mechanical filter, you've got a good biological filter.
That's pretty much true for the tropical fish too.
And the liquid test kit, and keep it simple, and you cut a long way.
That covers the tropical fish world too, in my opinion. I mean, as long as you got the biological filtration and the mechanical, and you test your water from time to time. I don't test my water very much anymore, but if I notice something.
And quarantine.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't personally test my water anymore. And my fish tell me if I need to have a look at anything.
Absolutely.
And 9 times out of 10, first thing I do is I give the easy pot a clean, give them a water change, and 9 times out of 10, they're back to their normal selves again.
That's right.
No, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you my readings, and I don't even have any kits anymore, and I couldn't care less. Like Vince said, the fish will tell you.
That's right.
If you get a pH swing, the koi are going to be flashing around, and you're going to know it. And then anything else, they're going to be sulking. And
yep.
Someone new into the hobby, one of the first 2 things I would recommend is a basic water test kit and a microscope.
And a microscope?
Right. A microscope,
And a microscope.
So how did you learn yourself that, Vince? How did you learn what you were actually looking for? Because obviously you had a case of fluke a couple of weeks ago. What's that actually look
There's,
like under the microscope? How did you learn that side of it?
well, I actually learned that side of it from a gentleman called Mark Davis, who owns Cuttlebrook Koi Farm
Yep.
in
Yeah.
Oxfordshire. Almost 20 years ago now.
Right.
There's parasites over here that to look for. The main ones you've got flukes, which is either your gill fluke or your skin fluke. You've got costia,
Yeah.
trichodemia, chiladenella. There is another one, but I can't remember it. But
What's
they can all be
what's the one they
seen.
call sleeping illness?
Sleeping sickness, that is
Yeah.
something completely different, that one. That is when introducing a new fish, it it's all to do with being put into a completely new equilibrium. And what you've got to remember is if this fish has come from a dealer that's the other side of the country, then their
Yeah.
Yeah.
water's going to be completely different,
Different.
and everything else. So, you know, it might not be, it might be a young fish, and you put it into a pond with bigger fish, and all of a sudden it's got to get used to not just the water, but what's in the water.
Yeah.
Can you see what I mean? I mean, you will find that in your pond you will have parasites, irrespective on how clean you keep your filters
Yeah.
and whatnot. But if you keep everything where it needs to be, there's an equilibrium where they live in like symbiosis. But you put something in there that changes the mix, and that slight little stress event then gives these little bastards here chance to go and then explode and bloom.
Yeah.
That stress event could be anything from a major water change without any dechlorinator or putting in a new fish, anything like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, and this is why we say quarantine, quarantine, quarantine. You know, have yourself some small little area with some kind of little pressure filter. So if you do buy a new fish, you bang it in there for a couple of weeks, give it a scrape, make sure there's nothing on it, and then you take one of your not so nice fish from your pond and put that in there because that's just come from that body of water. And if anything's going to happen, it will be when you add that fish in there.
Yeah.
Now, if nothing happens, then a week or so later, you can go, right, thank you very much. Both of you can now go in there.
In the main.
Then, in doing that, you've already introduced that new fish to what's in that pond because you've taken that fish from that pond and put it. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, even to me.
That makes a change.
I got to be honest. I'm really bad about quarantining. Um,
I'm not anymore.
I'm not like, but after seeing about the mascara barbs and that, I was like, you know what? I got enough tanks down here now. I can dedicate one of them to a quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to bring something in here. I'm always working in the tank. I don't. You have a separate net for every tank.
Whenever I got new koi, I would only buy them when they're or get them when they're just fry, and then they would go into a fish tank all winter long, and then they would be introduced into the pond system in the spring of the next year. So they were with me a good 6 months before I even considered them going into my ponds, simply because I don't want to introduce something that's foreign to my fish, and I haven't had to treat for costia or and fluke.
Yeah, but that's the other thing as well. See, that fish that's come from that other system might have come from a system where it's got an equilibrium with whatever's in there, but then you put it in there, and that stress event has brought it out on the fish you've just put in. The other
Bit like
thing
egg.
is, if that happens, because you're in a small quarantine setup, it's a lot cheaper and a lot easier to treat a small body of water
Yep.
than it
Oh,
is trying to treat your whole main pond.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do
Can
all
you see
your
what I
water.
mean? So even if it's only a couple of 100 gallons, it's somewhere where you can do all this before then introducing it to your main pond where all your best fish are. Because I tell you now, if anything's going to go koi, if anything's going to go wrong to any one of your fish, it's either going to be the most expensive one, the one you wanted to watch develop the most, or your favourite. If anything's going to happen, it will be one of them three. I can guarantee it. It's fucking sod's law. If anything goes wrong, it's either your favourite, the one you wanted to see progress, or the most expensive one.
Yeah.
But like I've
Or
said
the
on
one
my
you've
channel,
just sold and someone's coming to pick it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I've done that a few times.
Yeah.
Sellers regret.
Apparently, Tony wanted you to sing, Vince.
it's been you
Oh, yeah. You spin me right round, baby, right. Just for you, Tubby.
On that note, I'm saying goodnight. I got
Night.
stuff I must get done. I want
Well
to thank
done.
everyone here, and thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it.
absolutely.
Uh, great being on a live with Vince. I've always wanted to
Yeah.
do that. Great guy. I said if you haven't already subscribed to him, subscribe because
Yeah.
he's a wealth of knowledge. He's funny, and does a lot with DIY. So
Yeah.
really support him there. Likewise, if you haven't already subscribed to Mal or or to Jeff, make sure you do so. And there's some great people here on the chats that are going back and forth,
Oh,
subscribing
yeah.
to each other. So appreciate that. Anyways, you guys continue on. I got a slide. It was nice talking to everyone.
Yes, thank you, Chris. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
See you real
See you
soon.
later, Chris.
All right.
Bye now.
Have a great
Bye.
evening, Chris. All right. Bye bye. Very nice. Catch up with the chat here a little bit. Let's see what we got. Got an urge to satisfy. Going to hit like and let the boys know we're enjoying the show. Thank you so much on that.
Yeah, go on. Polish the old thumb, you know you want to.
So all this information, it's soaking it all in here. I mean, I know there's a lot more where that came from. So
You're going to forget most of it, Jeff. It's not till you start watching the videos you'll say,
yeah,
right, that's what
absolutely.
he's on about there with the
Yep.
the
'Cause I tell
bendy
you,
or the
I've never thought about keeping koi, but now I'm thinking about it because
yeah.
I realized I thought, well, is keeping goldfish. That's kind of like, but it's nothing like. There's nothing wrong with goldfish, and the koi are different. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put the spotlight on for a couple of minutes.
All
Why
right.
not?
Great.
I'd struggle around mine, Jeff, because I've got cranes and cormorants around me where I live,
Grown on.
and they would have a field
I'm gonna
day with them.
put you on solo layout here. Okay, there we go. We're watching you. Oh, they're beautiful. That is nice. That's a beautiful
My
pond.
little,
Beautiful fish.
and then my shower,
Ah.
and then you can see where I'm sat. I sit here, and there's my pond.
Right.
Nice.
Look straight out onto my pond. My own little slice of heaven, that is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. What's your neighbours think of it?
My next door neighbour that side, he loves it, especially when his grandkids come to visit, because he's always bringing them round and
Yeah.
showing them the fish. When the little nephew comes in, he loves it. You know, I've got the you can't really see it at the moment because it's dark, but my toe side tank with the window,
Yeah.
he sits there on that window ledge. Fish, 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 you know, and he
Yeah.
sits there for ages. He loves it. So yeah, fish are a universal relaxant. I'm give a
Oh,
shit about
definitely.
anyone, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely helped me in more ways than one, you know, especially with the old PTSD and stuff like that. It just
Yeah.
helps you to get out of here.
Just get
And
out.
yeah, and my my mantra has always been, it doesn't have to be expensive to keep,
Yeah.
run, and grow good quality koi.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what I'm trying to come from, like trying to keep it DIY or try it yourself.
oh mate, I can give you so many ideas. I'd have your head
Yeah.
spinning. But yeah, I mean, if you actually go and look at Gaz was on earlier, Gaz's koi pond. If you go
Yeah.
and have a look at Gaz's channel, he's actually made what refer to as the righty system, and it's basically a 3 barrel system that's pump fed, and
Right.
you can do exactly the same system on gravity feed with a few little tweaks.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can either use like big blue barrels that you can get, you know,
Yeah,
these
like your
food
big eye.
barrels.
Yeah.
You can either use them, you can use water butts. I mean, Jesus Christ, Ricky and the boys down at New Cross Koi are even using wheelie bins.
Wheelie bins. I've seen them ones.
So, you know what I mean? You've got
Yeah.
2 wheelie bins, you know, with a couple of tank connectors and couple of fittings and a bit of pipe, and you've got yourself a mechanical filter and a biological filter.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you,
use
do
one
you go
air
down the
pump.
chemical side of it, or just when you're like medicating? Is that the only time you add chemicals?
So yeah, that's the only time I get any chemicals go in the pond is if I'm treating for parasites.
Yeah. So how do them come in? Are they coming in on bird poo and stuff like that? When
You can get fluke, costia, trichodynia off of the slime off the slugs.
right?
You can get it out of bird shit as well. So
That's all right.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
well, yeah. I dropped a video this evening because I've got the homemade Tempest now up and running on the Toast tank.
Yeah.
So
Is that the Tempest? Is that the K1?
it's got K1 Micro in that one, but I've
Yeah.
you know the original Tempest is it's 280 quid to buy brand new now, and
Yeah.
I've not one. Okay, it's not going to
Yeah.
work as effectively as
Yeah.
the
But
real thing, but it's going to do as good a job as that for a fraction of the price, and it can
yeah.
be done for less than what EA are charging you.
So
And
where do you go for your fittings, like all your tank fittings and stuff like that?
all my tank connectors and stuff like that, I go to another one of my best mates, and he's got a YouTube channel, and he has an aquatics business, as in he sells
Right.
fitting, food, anything like that. I can put you in touch with him. not a problem. But as for actual pipe and pipe fittings, I just use normal 1.5-inch solvent weld waste pipe.
Yeah.
So, wicks,
Wicks
you're
is,
talking 1,000.
yeah.
Fit in a fibre for a 3 metre length of 1.5-inch pipe.
Yeah. Jeff went to bed.
No, and I'm just catching up with the chat here, just putting people's link
All
up
right.
here, so just so they're not feeling left out. So I've never done any DIY filters, so I'm going to be checking out. When I do my pond, I'm going to have to do that, and I'll be checking. I'll be getting with you on that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely
So,
will.
what's your opinions on bog filters? Because them seem to be quite a few people do bog filters.
Now, those are the ones where you have plants in it, right? The bogs, is that?
Yeah. Yes, they do work if they're built right.
Yeah.
But if they're not done right, they can be a serious bacteria magnet.
Yeah. I imagine.
So, yeah. I mean, the old pond in the front garden, that was run on airlifts and plant filters. And last year, and now my front garden is south facing. And last year, when we had that real hot weather, back garden temperature was about 36 degrees. The front garden temperature was 45 degrees.
Yeah.
Now, I've got, at the time in the front garden, there was 360 gallons running on airlifts and 2 plant beds.
Yeah.
I didn't use any blanket weed in that pond at all. Yet, my main pond with a UV on it was inundated with blanket weed.
Right.
Now, one filter system was run on plants and the other system wasn't.
Right.
What does that tell you?
Yeah, exactly.
If you design it right, then yeah. As long as you design your filter system right and you make sure you've got a bloody good mechanical filter in between, then you shouldn't have any problem putting any type of plant filter after your biological.
Yeah.
So if you was gravity feeding into a static bed, from there into an active bed to your pump and then through. But what I would do, which is what I did on the front garden, and that was instead of using stone, I replaced it for alpha growth instead.
Right.
I wish I had a tenth of you guys' knowledge when it comes to that DIY stuff, because when Mel did his Frankenfilter and stuff, that's just, I'm just not.
That's nothing that compared to what he's got going filter wise.
Well, no, that's impressive to me. It's something I would. But
you can start making
that's it. That's a little toy. I've knocked up a little toy.
Well, it's for a different size body of water. You got it on there. It's good.
But it's almost an airlift in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all it. All it basically is. It's a pump pumping in, and it's gravity pushing it back out one end. And that's all.
Yeah.
It made no difference. The medias made no difference to the nitrates and the thing, and that was the whole point, was to see if the net, when they claim that the nitrates will be lower because there's magic.
Which one was that? The Purigen? Is that what you used, or what?
No, it was Seachem Matrix.
Oh, the Matrix.
But first of all, I tried to do that kitty litter and fluorite red to see if that would do. But that raised the pH. That just raised the pH.
I think Gil did that with the kitty litter and.
He did. I mean, it's all right if you've got African cichlids, but it wasn't no good for me because I was trying to keep the pH either neutral or down over. But the kitty litter, they don't tell you this. It says, "Oh yes, it's neutral," but it's not neutral. It neutralizes. Means so your cat pH 6, so you need an 8 to neutralize it. So if you haven't got your cap heat and neutralize the 8, it's going to go up. So that's what happened. That's why I had to take it out for.
See,
But
that's one thing.
Lesson learned. That's the best way to learn. You never do it again.
Your dirty tank will probably what I've read anyway. I don't know if I haven't done my dirty tank yet, but
Yeah.
from what I've studied and researched on that is that will actually, if you don't add something to buffer the pH, it will drop down.
Well, the rocks that I've got should actually leach some TDSs in the
Okay,
cell.
good. That's good. I was
They've
going to say.
Have you not watched his video yet, Jeff? Tut, tut, tut.
Oh no, I did. I just didn't. I didn't know about them.
Didn't take notice. Just switches off.
I'll be honest. I'm in a cloud most of the time anyway. My sleep schedule. In fact,
You're right.
I think I'm about 48 hours right now at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like
easy.
I'm kind of here.
When you text me in the morning, I think it's got to be 3 o'clock in the morning, and he's still up.
Yeah, that's like my 8 o'clock at night, 3 o'clock in the morning. So, but today, I mean, this is the next day out now, so I'll be sleeping at normal time tonight. I'll be going to bed tonight here about 11, which would be about 5 o'clock in the morning for you guys.
Yeah.
And that'll be about 30 hours that I've been going because I've been doing work down here, and I got to be honest though, it's not your fault, Vince, but I get excited. This is like Christmas to me. When I have somebody new on the channel, it's like I was excited. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I can't sleep.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to today.
I couldn't sleep. Yeah. Well, we got to. You know what? We're going to do this again. I hope you'll come back and be
definitely.
Be a regular.
Absolutely. This has been fascinating for me. I tell you, I've learned more. I think I've learned more in this episode of this particular show.
Well, you say that. If you tune in to Gaz's Koi Pond channel tomorrow night at 7:30, I will be on there. Gaz hosts it as it's his live. His best mate Gaz is on there who's starting a koi farm. I'll be on there, and Ricky from New Forest Koi Farm, the gentleman who does the breeding and everything, he will be on there as well.
It's tomorrow?
So tomorrow night, 7:30 our time on Gaz's Koi Farm.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to be there. Remind me, Mel, okay? If you would.
Will do, yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
I will be there.
Gaz's Koi Pond is the channel.
Gaz's Koi Pond. Was he in the chat?
Yeah.
Was he in the chat tonight? Was he?
Yeah, he is.
He was in the chat tonight.
He is in the chat.
He's a good lad. He's a good mate.
Yes.
Right.
I'm going to get over there and I'll be there tomorrow night.
Trying to get into 2,000 subscribers for Christmas.
Oh, yes, right.
Yeah.
Well,
So I'll be live on Gaz's live tomorrow night. That's every Thursday night. That is at 7:30, and we take questions. Ricky talks about stuff, and we also do a koi appreciation section as well.
Excellent. Farmer Corey has a question. Do you guys use clays in your ponds? If so, what do you think are the benefits?
That's for you then now, because he's went.
Well, I use the back-toe clay. I've tried what's it called, Koi Masters Advantage, and that just cloudies the water for about 3 days. I found the back toe one, it clouds for about 24 hours and then clears up, but it does add a lot of minerals and stuff back into the water.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to continue my learning tomorrow and be over there on Gaz's then. So
it'll be good to have you. In fact, you can come and you can actually join us on the live if you want.
You know what? A good chance of me doing it.
When when you go on the live and you look in the comments, right at the top of the comments, he usually puts a banner in there. You click that, and it'll take you straight to StreamYard, which will join you straight to us.
All right.
There you go, Jeff.
I've done that before on this too. It's been a while since I've done that.
I'll not be able to do it. I've got stuff to do tomorrow night, but I'll be watching it for definite. But I'll not be able to join.
Yeah,
that's
I
all right,
might
man.
be able to join, but I might just be in the comment. It might be just out in the chat, but I'll be there definitely, one way or another. Definitely. So, guys, we've been going now. It's been over 2 hours.
2 hours, 20 minutes.
You know what? This has been a special episode, and I think it's been going by. It went by pretty quick, in my opinion. It went by quick.
Yeah, it's flown by.
Yeah.
Really
Live from Twisted Towers.
Yep. So we'll go ahead.
That was a subscriber that called my place that.
Twisted Towers. It's a good name.
Yeah.
Twisted Towers.
Yeah.
We got Mad
Home
Cat.
of the Twisted one.
With June says turtles have taught me the most about filtration. Oh, I bet.
Yeah, 'cause they are dirty animals. I thought koi were dirty, but Jesus.
Do you ever get any on your outside ponds? Do you ever get turtles that try to go in there?
No, we don't have
no, we don't get turtles in England.
Oh, you don't?
No.
No.
Oh, wow. No turtles in England.
Yeah. We have a lot of cormorants where I live, a lot of cormorants and a lot of cranes. That's going to be my biggest worry, especially being living right next to the River Tyne.
Okay.
And having like a big. We'll get
no turtles.
Heron,
that's odd. I think there'd be turtles in the lakes and ponds there.
Nope.
Wow.
No, we get crayfish, but
I wonder. I've never in my life would have imagined that there weren't any turtles in the United Kingdom.
No.
Nope.
Wet them all. Wet them all like the big giant tortoises when we brought them back.
We got red ear sliders, turtles around here in the ponds. I mean, you go out there in the summertime, you see them sunning on a log. You know, you see the mother, and they have little turtles stacked on top.
Oh, right.
It's actually illegal to own a red-eared slider now.
Yeah.
In the United States?
In the UK.
UK, okay.
It's illegal to own a red-eared slider now because they were put on the endangered list or something.
Yeah.
Really? Oh wow! Here they're now. There's abundance of them here.
They're illegal over here. Anyone that has one has got to have a specific special license to keep them.
Yeah.
Wow. I can go out right now, and if I go to a pond, if I had a pond or something, if I wanted to, I can go catch a turtle and bring it home. I wouldn't have to do anything.
I've got my son's turtle tank is over there.
Okay.
And in there, he's got a Mississippi map turtle and a razorback. Now, the razorback stays in the water permanently. The only time that comes out of the water is the very tip of its nose just to get some breath. But the Mississippi one, that's quite a size on it now, and that comes up and out into the dry box at the top to bask as well.
Yeah.
So it goes on and off. But yeah,
I thought about Florida soft shell turtles. They had that long pointy snout. And they're more of an aquatic turtle. They stay in the water most of the time and very rarely come out. Nice. Yeah, there's a lot about this hobby that, like I said, I've been keeping fish since 76, 74. And, but you know what? It just goes to show you how little we really know about.
It's like two different worlds, isn't it, Jeff? From going from koi to tropical,
I'll be honest with you.
I've been doing
3 different worlds for me.
For 20 years now, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning loads.
I was in a niche, just the big aggressive Central and South American cichlids. It's what I did for a long time. And then I switched over to the Africans, and that opened up a whole bunch more. And then the community fish. And I'm like
That's a good thing about YouTube, though, isn't it, Jeff? It's got all these little niches like koi, tropical, cichlids. It's got you all talking, and you take little ideas from each little thing and think, yeah, actually, that would work. It's like the K1
Yeah.
idea. I bet K1 was probably just for koi when they first come out.
Yeah.
Would you believe it or not, K1 actually started in water treatment factories.
Yeah.
Oh. And now you can see. I see people use like an empty 2-liter soda bottle.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
they'll make
Yep.
a big
Sponges
bed
on the
filter.
bottom.
This everything's the K1 in there, just churning around and
Yep.
with the air pump.
Well, turn that into a dumpster, and then you got what he's got in his garden for the K1.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, gentlemen, I think we probably should end this thing
Yeah.
here. It was been a
Good idea.
really great show.
It's been a cracking couple of hours. I've enjoyed it. I've loved it.
Yeah.
Yourself.
Me too.
Different, isn't it?
You know what? I'll be honest. I could go on. I could go on and on.
With Jeff, I'm the same, because with koi, even if I could take us all day and look in a pond of koi, and I wouldn't be able to pick the expensive one. I'd be just going for what I wanted myself.
Yeah, just see something that was interesting looking at. I
And that's what I mean.
You know what?
It's so subjective. It's what is pretty to you. I might look at and go,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Thank
one
you
of
again,
them.
Chris.
It's so subjective.
Yeah. There's Chris there. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Thanks, Chris. And thank you guys so much.
Yeah. Sticking around.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for my little alien impression at the very start.
Oh, that was fucking hilarious.
I can't wait to watch it back now just to see what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know what happened. I've got these new AirPod things, and I think it might be them hadn't connected properly, or it was my daughter, because my daughter was trying to show us how to watch videos on ×2, just to get it so you can watch more videos quicker. It's no good when we're watching me or you, because we talk too fast any case. But when you're watching some of the American ones, when they talk slower, you can put it on ×2, and it sounds like they're talking like us.
My wife watches her video ×3 when she's doing her webinars and stuff. She listens to these things, and she'll have it. They sound like an auctioneer.
Yeah.
It's continuously, and she catches every word.
Yeah.
My missus
That's
can't understand it. Every YouTube channel I am subscribed to, I watch every video in double speed.
Yeah.
I'm on a couple of chat groups on an app called Telegram. That's how I talk with Chris. And even the voice and video messages on there, I watch them all in double speed as well.
Double speed.
People go to me, "Can you understand that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, can't you?"
You just have to catch in the top of the waves, isn't it?
At double speed, you can watch twice as much. And when you're subscribed to shitloads of channels,
you get through a lot.
I watch it on normal speed, and I got a lot of channel I watch, so I don't get a. Some people are like, well, Jeff hasn't been around here, been this. I'm somewhere all the time. I might be late, but I usually make it.
But every now and then, on one of my voice groups, on one of my chat groups, Susan will be listening, she'll be like, "What's he say?" So I'll have to put it on a normal speed, and then as soon as it starts talking in normal speed, I'm like, "Fuck, that sounds slow."
See, well, I've had that trouble all my life being a Geordie. People say, "What did he say? What did he say?"
Sammy says,
it's only the last couple of years. It's when I can actually understand. People understand us more. Because when I was young, it was proper Geordie.
Get it right, Silver. You're a crazy text.
He is. And Farmer Coy's
Yeah,
and
I've got quite.
double speed.
Yep, I've got quite a few people watching their YouTube at double speed now. Mind you,
Yeah.
they have had to slowly work up to it to get used to it
Yeah.
beforehand.
Because you get a chance, don't you, where you go like the 1 times quote and
I've never done that. Watched it double speed. Have you done it before? Mel?
yeah, just today. My daughter showed us how to do it today. I thought that's
How do you
really
do it?
good stuff.
I never seen the option to do speed.
When you're watching the
You
video,
know-
there'll be like a little like settings thing on the video. Press that, and it'll come down with a list, and it'll have all different things, but it'll have speed option.
Oh,
And you press on that, and it comes up with like a load, about 5 or 6 different
is
options.
that the little gear thing? The little gear?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
like the
You've
little
got
yeah.
1.25, 1.50, 1.75, and double speed.
And
So
double speed,
start off at the 125 first, get used to that, and then progress your way up. Don't just jump straight into double speed,
Yeah.
because half of the people you listen to, you won't be able to understand a word they're fucking saying.
Yeah.
But
So break
it is
yourself
good for
into
watching
it slowly.
videos.
Oh yeah, 100% now, without
Yeah.
a shadow of a doubt.
I can try that, but I sometimes I like to at normal speed. I even have a sometimes hard time keeping up. Sometimes,
Yeah.
but it's just lack of sleep for me today. But well, guys, all right. So
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and wrap her up here, and
Why not?
everybody got to remember to be sure to feed your addiction, and
Wouldn't
that's what we're doing. 1 tank at a time and 1 pound at a time now too. Soon.
Oh yeah.
So, all right,
Take care,
gentlemen.
guys.
We'll see you. We'll
Right.
see you backstage
See you
in
later.
1 second, everybody. Have a good one.
Right.
Bye bye.
Bye.